Hey, what's going on, YouTube? How are ya? Thank you so much for coming by. I've been trying to make this video. This is day 3. So the first day, I spent taking screenshots and recording stuff. Then taking video as I discuss it, and then editing and splicing. And it is, my phone's telling me I don't have the storage. It's insane. So day 2, I tried different ways to do it. Yesterday, then I got frustrated. I said, that's it. I went home, and I was in my house, and I used the phone to take video of what I want to talk about. And again, I uploaded it privately to my channel so I could view it and see what it looked like, and it looked like crap. So I'm going to try it again. This is my 3rd try at this video, but the reason why I'm so determined is how important this is to me. And if this video is about impossible visits, Christopher Noel has had his channel Impossible Visits for 10 years. That's what I scrolled to see how long he's had his channel. 10 years is a long time, guys. And I really, really believe this guy. He is very, very genuine. He seems very humble, very knowledgeable. He has spent a lot of time in the forest with Sasquatch, I believe. He's got great audio that I want you guys to hear. It's really important I do this video because I've been trying to, and now I'm determined because I have been thwarted in my attempts to make this video. I have made a video, downloaded it, and had to remake it, and at least 7 or 8 times, and I keep running into these roadblocks. I'm gonna do this one more time with this editing app, and if not, I'm gonna just straight out just do. I want to show you guys, and I want you guys to hear the audio and see some of the video that he's got, and so just bear with me with some of this. I want you guys to hear some of this. So just give me a minute. I want to prepare what's going on. And just hold the phone. So he talks about something I find very interesting. And it's skeptics on people that just refuse to have an open mind about Bigfoot. And people talk about this collective unconsciousness, or that Bigfoot is a figment of our imagination. And people chalk it up to the human condition, that we somehow need this monster to exist, or as part of our dark side is what he talks about. That in the back of our mind, the boogeyman and the monster under the bed and the monster in the closet and all this kind of thing. And that it's just kind of in humans, in the back of our mind somehow, that we have created this Bigfoot or Sasquatch, that it's just a figment of our imagination. So he talks about if this were true, and we could explain away Sasquatch sightings and encounters, then this human condition of this this need to have some kind of monster in the dark, then that would span across the globe. It would be universal across the entire world. So he mentions, well, in Japan, they don't have this universal condition in their brain that tells them that there has to be this dark side. Now, in Japan, there is no sightings of Sasquatch. 0 encounters, 0 in their history. And it's funny because their culture is famous for monsters. Godzilla, King Kong, they have a long history of dragons and stuff like that. And yet, they do not talk about Bigfoot. And in Japan, there's plenty of area for a Sasquatch to exist. And the reason why that they don't have this in their history is because Sasquatch does not habituate in Japan. They're not there. And there's other areas like that, China, Russia, Indonesia. There's other areas where Sasquatch is not in their history, and there are no sightings of these creatures or in their folklore. So to think of this as some collective unconsciousness that we all need to have this monster in the closet thing, or this monster in the dark, I call baloney on that. and that's something. This is Christopher Noel's theory, and I agree to it. I'm on board with that. Another thing that I want you guys to hear some audio that he picked up in a place where he often will sit and have interactions with Bigfoot. I completely believe this guy. If I'm being fooled by Mr. Christopher Noel, then shame on me, but I am 110% behind him in what he's doing. I believe everything in his videos, all his audio, I completely believe all of that. And like I said, and if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, then I was fooled. It's that simple. It doesn't mean Bigfoot doesn't exist. It just means maybe I was fooled. But in this particular case, with Mr. Noel and his Impossible Visits channel, there's no way this guy's faking it. That's my opinion, and again, I can have that. But I want you to listen to some of this audio that he came out with a video recently on 2 years of research that he's been doing near his home, I believe, or near his childhood home. A small area. It's not like it's in Vermont, but it's not like it's way up in the mountains in an isolated area. So check it out and have a listen.
I'm just using it to show the times. Listen for foreground, background, percussion. At times you can tell that there are at least two making noise. And are they communicating back and forth? Or is this just more like parallel play? Now, from about 10:30, the activity trails off significantly, and no longer are you going to hear just highlights. You're going to hear just about everything that I feel I can associate with them. The signals come much fewer and farther between, and we can guess that they're resting, taking naps. Do you think that they would leave and do other things, risk traveling in the daylight, and then go back to the same spot and resume making noise? I think that given that they are active at night, it would make sense that they would rest during the day and not move around, when people are out and able to see. I think it's a fair assumption that they're resting in place and occasionally rousing and making a little.
So I find that awesome, interesting stuff. And the M and M in that little Google Earth picture he showed is a Sasquatch that he calls Music Man, who does a lot of tapping and rhythmic stuff out in the ravine that he goes and he'll sit out there with these Bigfoot that will interact with him, throw pine cones at him and stuff like that. And he's got a lot of that on his newest video. His name is Christopher Noel, and his channel is called Impossible Visits. This is a part 1. I have another one I want to talk about in part 2. I'm going to talk about some of his savant theory about Sasquatch and about their autistic tendencies, we'll say, in which fascinates me because it makes so much sense. So I don't get so frustrated and throw my phone out the window as I'm traveling down the highway because I'm getting so frustrated with trying to make this video. I'm gonna just calm myself down, and I'm gonna make 2 videos. This is part 1, and I really do hope you guys come back and check out part 2. Again, check out Christopher Noel's channel, Impossible Visits. This guy is spot on. He's out there sitting with these Bigfoot, and I completely believe what's going on around him. He's recording it, and he's got some Bigfoot actually. He's able to spot on it looks like a thermal imaging type thing, but it's kind of right in front of him, and he never saw it until after he went back and looked at the video. But check it out, you guys, and thank you guys so much for clicking, and I'll see you on part 2.